There is a satin shoe sitting in someone's closet right now, worn exactly once, with a stain across the toe that arrived before the owner made it through the front door. The price was just under $1,000. From the moment she tried to pull the ribbon past her heel, she already knew something was wrong. She bought it anyway because every platform told her this was the shoe of the moment. The hashtag had crossed 2 billion TikTok views, and the brand's revenue was up 93%. 10 brands and 1 definitive ranking. But before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and comment down below where you are watching from. Number 10 goes to MIU. The list index named Miu Miu the hottest brand on the planet for 3 of 4 quarters in 2024. Rebag's 2025 report shows current resale retention at 104%. Every data point tells you to buy, and the product tells you something else. The satin upper stains from condensation before you leave the house, and multiple owners confirmed watermarks from a single humid afternoon. The elastic strap sits wrong on the foot in a way that reviewers struggled to describe with any precision. Sizing runs so irregularly that buyers end up between a pinched true size and a floating half size that slips. Construction is cemented and glued. Estimated production cost is between $80 and $150, while retail ranges from $895 to $1,290. That 104% retention collapses in pre-trend data, where older styles drop to 15% and 25% after the algorithm moved on. Every trend corrects, and glue does not change when the search volume drops. Number 9 belongs to Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton describes its ballet flat construction as a prestigious Italian sacchetto technique, requiring 200 processes and 70 artisans. The outcome is a shoe that Purse Forum members repeatedly describe as punishing, running narrow in a way that penalizes anyone outside one specific foot geometry. Resale sits between 30 and 48%. Louis Vuitton built its reputation on bags, and the ballet flat has always carried that energy. Number 8 on this list is Prada. Nothing about the Prada ballet flat is dishonest. It uses Nappa leather, rubber soles, and it is made in Italy. There is a triangle logo on the toe. Construction is cemented, and the price runs from $990 to $1,200. That same method appears on shoes that cost $300 less from brands without the Prada margin. Resale falls between 25% and 50%. At a moment when Prada held the number 1 list ranking in the third quarter 2025, the ballet flat generated none of that momentum. It exists in the range and nowhere above it. Number 7 on this list is Hermes. Every Hermes shoe is manufactured in Italy, and the bags are French. The two products come from entirely separate supply chains. The shoes are produced through the footwear infrastructure in Parabiago outside Milan. Guillaume Desains, a production executive at the house, has said that Italy has preserved a footwear production chain that France no longer maintains. That is worth knowing before handing over $1,200 to $1,750 expecting the orange box supply chain. Resale holds at 50 to 70% for most styles. Hermes shoes have never been the brand's hero product, and the secondary market reflects that. Number 6 on this list is the Row. Rebag's 2025 Claire report gives the Row 97% resale retention, making it the first non-Hermes and non-Goyard brand to reach that threshold. It is now valued at $1 billion. Multiple reviewers independently describe the flats as too delicate for actual wear, and one reviewer, after returning her pair, concluded the soles are simply too thin for any day with hours ahead of it. The flats feel fragile in real-world use. That 97% resale figure applies if the acquisition is about value retention. If you are buying a shoe for a regular Tuesday, that figure does not apply. Number 5 belongs to Manolo Blahnik. Up to 200 individual production stages go into a Manolo Blahnik shoe, and the flats, Hangisi and Virali, both use kid leather lining, softer and more expensive than the calf lining most competitors apply. The Hangisi holds 45 to 53% on resale. The standard Virali drops to 20 to 35% on resale. Satin is not a practical daily material, and the crystal buckle shifts the shoe's balance on a long walk in ways that leather versions avoid. The craftsmanship is audible in the details. You notice it more at the heel than in the flat profile. Number 4 on this list is Chanel. The classic cap-toe lambskin was $550 in 2008 and $1,075 in 2026, a 95% increase over 18 years against cumulative inflation of approximately 51%. Revenue declined 4.3% in 2024. Construction is cemented, with hand-stitched grosgrain detailing and made in Italy. Resale holds at 60 to 85%, with current season classic pairs reaching 75 to 90%. The leather soles wear through in 6 months of urban walking, and every experienced owner adds Vibram rubber soles at a cobbler before the first wear. That $20 cobbler visit is not optional. The resale floor is real. The shoe remains the most iconic ballet flat in the category. Documented construction improvements to justify the price increase do not exist. Number 3 on the list is Alea. Alea builds rubber soles into every model it makes, and that single decision changes the shoe's practical lifespan from delicate to durable. The fishnet ballet flat hit the list hottest products list in the third quarter of 2024 with a 522% month-over-month search spike, and it held that position for 2 consecutive years. Net-a-Porter confirmed multiple reorders against stock that kept selling out. Resale runs 65 to 72% for signature styles. Owners describe walking several hours without problems, a phrase that rarely appears in luxury ballet flat reviews at any price. Price ranges from $910 to $1,350. 2 years of sustained demand confirm the design outlasts the trend. Number 2 on this list goes to Gucci. The horsebit uses sacchetto construction, the sole stitched inside out and reversed, producing a padded insole and a flexibility that cemented soles cannot replicate. Comfort feedback across multiple platforms is the most consistent of any brand in this ranking. One Purse Forum member who had owned Chanel, Repetto, Manolo Blahnik, and 3 other luxury flats called the horsebit the outright winner on comfort. Retail runs $830 to $927, lower than 7 other brands here. Kering's revenue fell 12% in 2024, and Gucci specifically dropped 23%. That pushed resale to 30 to 60%. That decline is an argument for the secondary market, where the horsebit trades at 40 to 50 cents on the dollar compared with brands that have weaker builds and stronger logos. Number 1 on this list is Repetto. Rose Repetto designed this shoe in 1956 for Brigitte Bardot, who asked for something as lightweight and flexible as a real ballet slipper, and the Cendrillon has not changed structurally since then. Production runs in Dordogne, France, using a stitch-and-turn method where the sole is hand-stitched inside out and reversed by artisans in the facility where the technique was developed. Retail is $410 to $470, with an estimated production cost of $60 to $120, a 3 to 5 times markup compared to 7 to 10 times at Chanel and Hermes. A rubber sole version is now available directly from Repetto. If you buy the leather sole version, add a Vibram sole at a cobbler before wearing it, at half the cost because the shoe costs half as much. Resale sits at 10 to 25%. The lowest in this ranking and the least relevant because the shoe retails for less than a third of its nearest competitor. Women who own Repetto maintain a bench pair and return without hesitation for years. That pattern does not appear in reviews above $470. The most hyped ballet flat on this list charges a trend tax on a cemented sole, with a satin upper that marks before it touches pavement. The brand at the top has been making the same shoe by hand in France since Brigitte Bardot was 22 years old. Most women spending $1,000 on ballet flats in 2026 have never heard of it.